let's say I'm living in Hyderabad. I will explain all the things like how this interface is working and what are all these things here and there. Okay, now it asks me the type of cuisine I would like to eat. Let's say I will prefer Italian. Let's see.
Hi everyone, my name is Yogesh and I am a chatbot developer and I have around 3 years of experience building conversational AI solution. And along with that, I also have Rasa superhero contributor tag. So I'm also mostly involved in teaching, or exploring Rasa because Rasa is completely AI based framework. So as discussed last time, it gives more feature compared to any other tool or any other bot framework in the market. So I'll just quickly go through everything that we have discussed last time. We discussed about definitely me, and we discussed about what is chatbot today and why chatbot is required today, and how some real use case of the chatbots. And this is the overall agenda that we discussed last time. So we already discussed the scope of the restaurant bot and the things which we require to build the entire restaurant bot, which is in a Zomato API or a Bing Map API to find the location. And we also discussed the technicality or the concepts of Rasa, everything that we require to build up the project, right? So this is the scope of the bot, and I'll so the same thing is there in the GitHub link as well, which I shared in the uh, chat box, and feel free to open in the same GitHub link in one of the terminals. And if you scroll down, you will find the scope there. So I request everyone to just keep everything open for quick reference, and it will not, you will not lose any context if required. So this is the scope of the bot. Definitely we'll go ahead and then try to build from the scratch, and then we'll end up building the entire flow. So this thing is already built, and we'll show you how we can build from the scratch, right? And we also might explore the Zomato a bit. Zomato API. So Zomato is a food delivery app, or in India, and you can also search restaurants in the same app. So we discussed why Rasa and why it is different than other platform. We discussed the internals of the Rasa, and we discussed why we do need to have a AI based solution compared to rule based solution, which is state machines based conventional flow. And we are this is the core diagram of the Rasa core working, and we explored all these things with the small example. And this is the training data format, and there's something called actions. So action is for fulfillment of the Rasa, basically chatbot, and domain file, which is the environment of the Rasa. Slot is something which is memory to the Rasa, and this is few examples. And configuration is something just like how you configure things, like how, like what sort of, if I just say, if you build robot, right? So what all hardware you required and stuff like that. That's this kind of configuration in the Rasa. So we'll definitely go ahead and look into this, and you can ignore this. Yeah. So this is Rasa commands, which we will definitely go through now, one by one, right?
So hi guys, I'm Vishal, and right now I'm doing masters in computer science from University of Hyderabad, India. And currently I'm an LP intern at IMI Mobile, Hyderabad. It's the same company where Yogesh used to work. So today I will be taking you all through this hands-on session. I hope everybody has installed Rasa. And yeah, if you guys are facing some issues while installing Rasa, just ping in the chat window, and Yogesh will be taking all your questions. Yeah, so I will be sharing my screen, and I will discuss the agenda for today and how I will proceed further. So yeah, I hope my screen is visible. to everyone.
Yes, Vishal.
Okay, so this is a rough outline that I will be covering today. So yeah, before going into this chatbot that we have built, I will just show you a demo of how this chatbot works. After that, I will discuss all the concepts and all the basic stuffs needed to build a chatbot from scratch. Okay, so yeah, so this is
Just a second, Vishal.
yeah.
Yeah, so still 18 people yet to respond. Can you please quickly respond to the poll so that we have enough idea about whether you have installed Rasa or not. I see that out of around 44 people, we have 50-50% of distribution of people who have installed Rasa and who have not. So uh, cool. So 14 people yet to answer. If you can just quickly answer, we can move it to next step. And those who have installed Rasa, good, because you will be able to follow us. Those who haven't, if you can still install the Rasa, it will be good while we are demoing, just starting off. And if you are not able to install Rasa, that's fine. Yeah, you can still follow us. Look at the things which we do on screen. And since we are recording the video, you guys can look at the recording later and try to follow the instruction. And if not, if you still face the issue, we have the Telegram group, where we can discuss the any doubts and all, and we can take the conversation from there. Cool. So I think, yeah, still 12 people yet to answer, but I assume that okay, the distribution is still 50-50%. As I mentioned, even if you're not installed, even if you're not on your system and all, you can still follow us through our hands-on. Right? So cool. So yeah, Vishal, you can start.
Okay, thanks, Yogesh. So even if you guys have not installed Rasa, it's fine. Like just follow with us, and later in the stage, like you can ask on the group how to install and other stuff. Okay, so I will be right now. I will be doing a simple conversation with this bot that we already have built. I mean, we have been contributing to this bot from last, like I will say, 1 year in different phases. Yeah, so just see a simple conversation how it looks like. So I hope the scope of the bot is already clear. Like, yeah. So yeah, this just says a simple hi or hello something. The bot says, okay, I can help you find with some restaurants based on your location and cuisine. So the bot itself is, making uh, making the intention clear, like what is the intended task for this bot to perform. Okay, so that user should be very much clear why this bot has been built. Now, okay, let's say if I say I'm fine. Okay, let's say I'm living in Hyderabad. I will explain all the things like how this interface is working and what are all these things here and there. Okay, now it asks me the type of cuisine I would like to eat. Let's say I will prefer Italian. Let's see. Yeah, so okay, so we are able to find some top 5 6 restaurants in Hyderabad, and okay, and in just last 2 days. So this was the basic scope of the bot, where we give some information like location and cuisine to the bot, and bot is able to respond with list of restaurants from the Zomato API basically. So one more feature we have recently added in last 2 days is the table booking. So like yeah, user can go and book a table also. I will just show you this also. Okay, let's say user is interested in booking the table. So it's asking me the number of guys. Okay, let's say book it for it's asking me to share my contact number. So I will use a dummy contact number as of now. Okay, it's asking the date and time when we can visit. Let's say I will visit at tomorrow, let's say. Cool. So you see, yeah, okay. So we have successfully booked the table, and this is the information that the bot has, saved or recorded, which later we can, send as a notification to the user and the company, whatever company, whichever company is using this bot as a facility. Cool. So this is how a typical, conversation will look like. Now, one by one, we will see like how to build such similar bots. Okay. I hope it's clear. Like how, the stuff is clear. I mean to say.
Vishal,
Yeah.
just again. Is everyone able to see the screen? Can you just quickly respond in the chat because for Kunal it is not visible. Yeah, I think it's visible simply. Cool. So, okay, cool, correct. So, yeah. So what just Vishal explained was the last thing that we will build by the end of the webinar, and this is something which we are working on this project from around 3 or 4 months, and we have a lot to explore and build, right? So I hope that this demo goes well for you, and you'll get a chance to build something cool. Cool. So what Vishal we can do is you just start explaining one concept at a time or one thing at a time, and in between I'll just answer all the questions. Okay.
Okay, guys. So yeah. So basically, whatever interface right now I'm using is known as Rasa X. So initially it was just Rasa. Now we have two things, Rasa and Rasa X. So Rasa X gives a beautiful interface to build our bot or the assistants in a more efficient and easier way. So I will explain all the basic commands and how to build the chatbot from scratch in Rasa. Okay, start. Okay, so this was the bot which you all must have cloned from our co-learning launch repository. Okay, so this is the existing bot right now. What I will do is I will try to create one more bot from the scratch for you guys.
So guys, if whichever system that you have, just try to open one terminal, Windows or Linux terminal or terminal, and just start creating a new folder, and just try following the Vishal where he'll be setting up the basic Rasa chatbot, with few commands, and from there we will start setting up the Rasa chatbot, and then we'll keep on adding more features into the chatbot. So for any doubt, just please share your question in this chat box.
Okay, so as of now, I have just created one directory where all my project, basically the chatbot project, will be there. I will just move to this directory. Okay, as of now, so it's empty. Okay, so we will use a very basic command to create a default chatbot project in Rasa. So the command is Rasa init, which will, init, as the name suggests, init, it will just initialize a default project in your current working directory, which is a webinar bot as of now. Make sure you are you have activated your virtual environment and Rasa is working fine for you. So such basic commands will not throw errors for you. So yeah, it says welcome to Rasa. To get started quickly, you can refer the Rasa docs. Please enter a path where the project will be created. So default is the current directory, as I said. You can just press enter and proceed further with the same working directory. And it asked me to train an initial model. Okay, let's say yes, I would like to train it. I'll explain again how this training works, how many models are there and how it works. Just wanted to show you how a basic Rasa default project looks. Okay, so let the training part continue. I will show you how the basic bot looks like. So this is the project structure I have created here in this webinar bot. Okay, cool. So, so if you see there is a data folder, there is models folder, there is tests folder. There are some files here, some Python files, some YML files. I'll explain, or it must have been explained, the high view of all these files, like what they do. I will go through these things again, not a problem. And this flow has already been covered. Like there is a welcome message as I have shown you in the Rasa X interface. When I say hi, user responds with some message. Then we proceed further. Okay. So let's see how a default project structure. So in this data folder, basically, uh, so as mentioned in the last webinar, the Rasa is divided into two components mainly, Rasa NLU and Rasa core. So this data again has two files. One is NLU, other one is stories. The first one, NLU, has some, some intents and some utterances basically. So every intent has some utterances. You see, hey, hello, hi. So all these mainly, uh, falls under this greet intent, means to say all these have the same meaning. So these are nothing but some categories we have defined, known as intents. Okay. Now these are some basic stories. So as I mentioned, there is Rasa NLU and Rasa core. So whenever I say I'm training a Rasa chatbot, it means that internally there will be two models which will be trained. One will be for NLU and other will be for core. Okay, so NLU mainly these intents and entities which we tag will be used for training the NLU model, and this story will be very much useful while training the Rasa core model. If you see, here, this training part, when it asks me to, like, do you want to train an initial model, and I say yes, it's saying training core model here. First it is training the core model. Okay, after that it is training the NLU model here. If you see the NLU model, uh, at the end it says NLU model also completed, and the model is, saved as a tar file in my models folder. Okay, we can see also verify it, like we have a model here which is some 25 MB of file. Okay. Okay, so this is the default project which comes with some intents: greet, goodbye, affirm, deny, mood great, mood unhappy, and there is a one more intent as a bot challenge. Okay, this is what Rasa offers us. There are some stories. So stories, by using stories, you can cover all the scenarios in the conversation which may take place. So before designing any bot, we already know that why we are creating a bot. So we know some of the scenarios. So some of the stories are known as happy path. Happy path is where the bot is actually solving some, some problem. I mean, the intended task was, let's say, the user says greet, the bot responds with utter greet, something like that. So this is one of the story. Similarly, we have many stories which are covering different scenarios. Here, when the user said, "Okay, I'm happy," the bot responds with something, some utter message. I will show what this utter message is. So all these messages, like static messages, these are all these utter messages are static messages. You can find all those things in this domain file. You see, this utter greet is nothing but, "Hey, how are you?" These are the responses, and all these are the intents that are already defined in the NLU file. So we have some intents, basically we have some responses in the domain file. Okay, cool. I will show you some things like actions also. So since it's a default project, there are no actions being performed. It's a very simple bot. I will show those actions and all stuff in our, our CLL repository where we created our bot. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with the, at least the NLU file and the stories file. So this is NLU and stories, both are, both are our training data. Please ping if you have any doubts as of now.
Cool, Vishal. So,
Yeah,
just a second. Someone had a question.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Raghav, here in this webinar, we are not covering a model integration because we are still in the development phase, and we will be building the bot from the scratch. But in our, in our own project, we will be exploring model integration and all sorts of real things which we do in the real projects, right? So that's the thing. And yeah, so can you please explain how it selects next action after recognizing the location? So uh, definitely we'll see how it works. So uh, just to give you a quick answer, it works because of the core of the RASA, and so core is it's a LSTM based model, or today it's a transformer based model where it will try to predict the next sequence or next action based on all previous actions and intention entities, right? Uh, so I think, yeah. Um, Paula, can you please also explain concept overview about how does it work? So definitely we'll go through all the concepts once again while we do the hands-on, but we'll not go into deep because we have already explored in the last session. But if you have any specific question, feel free to ask. Cool, please go ahead, Vishan.
Okay, so yeah, so once you have the NLU data, the next thing is how your how your typical conversations looks like. Once you know that, okay, I want to say hi to a bot, and the bot should respond to a similar similar hi or hello something. And if I say I'm okay or I'm sad, basically there are two paths here. Either the user will be happy or either user will be unhappy. Simple. So that's how these two stories are different in nature, if you see. And based on the intent, basically, the next action is triggered. So the next action could be anything. It could be a custom action. It could be a simple, static response that we have, all designed in this domain file. Okay. Yeah. So this is how a simple bot looks like. Okay. I will try to chat with this bot, and we'll proceed further. So this was previous Rasa command line tool, to chat with the bot. Nowadays, you can talk to the bot on Rasa X also. So if I say hi, the bot's okay. So see, so when I say hi, the bot in all the stories, if you see, if I greet, if I greet, the bot will respond always with utter greet. Okay, always. This is how I have written my stories. What is utter greet? I will again explain. Nothing but hey, how are you? This is what you are able to see on the screen. I hope it's visible to everyone. If it's not, just let me know.
Yeah, it is visible. If
Okay,
you can just zoom a little bit.
okay, just one. Not able to zoom in this item.
Just do Control Shift plus.
That's not working.
Cool. So I think it is visible. It's fine.
Okay, no problem. So it says, hey, how are you? And I can just say, I'm fine. It says, great, carry on. So when I say I'm fine, so if you see, I'm fine means it should come under the intent mood great. Okay, something like perfect, very good, I'm great. It will be classified as this mood great intent. And you see here is the point where the story changes. If it is utter greed and utter greed, two things are common here also, here also. But the next thing is whether the mood is great or it's unhappy. As of now it's great, so it responds with simple utter happy. That's it. Okay. And I can say okay, bye, cool. So it also says bye. So similarly, if you cover a different, let's say we will cover a different story now. If I say I'm sad, it gives me a basically image, and so I will show you this image on the Rasa X. You can actually see this image is a tiger. It's a small tiger, nothing else. It's a default project you can find on the Rasa website also. They have shown you this conversation. Okay, so I will say yes. Okay, cool. So this is how a very simple default chatbot project looks like. Whenever you issue a command rasa init, you will find this project structure in your current working directory, and you can build upon the way you want to design your bot. Obviously, every bot has a different context. Cool. I will just stop this bot and proceed further. I hope these simple conversations are fine to everyone. There's nothing much to you know think about. Yeah, so there is one config file also, as explained in the previous webinar, which is nothing, which consists of a NLU pipeline and the policies being used by the core model. So there, this is the configuration for Rasa core, and this is for the NLU. So NLU is where all your data is being, the NLU data is being trained on multiple intents and entities. And simple, a diet classifier, which is a new classifier in Rasa. Okay, cool. So, okay, we'll move to, I think there are a few more basic commands I will try to show you. So let's say you want to talk to a bot, you just say Rasa shell, the bot will come on the terminal. Okay. So it says a bot loaded, type a message and press enter. So you can continue with hi, hello, whatever you want to do. Okay. Stop and restart are two other commands that you can use on the shell. Okay. So as of now, we have covered Rasa init and Rasa shell. I hope it's clear. I will cover the third command, which is Rasa shell NLU. So when you say Rasa shell, your bot is loaded. Okay. When I say Rasa shell NLU, just see what happens. Basically, I'm trying to load just the NLU model, not the core. So only the NLU model is loaded. So we can just see how, if I type a message, how it is passed in the pipeline, how it is passed basically by the bot internally. If I say hi, let's try to see the response being generated just for the text hi you see here. Okay. So this is what Rasa generated internally. There is some key known as intent. Okay. So the name of the intent is greet. Yeah. So this hi text has been classified into the intent greet with a confidence score of 0.99. So the confidence is basically very high. Obviously, it will give confidence scores for other intents also. Greet was having the highest confidence. Others are having very low confidence score. You see, because you all guys know we have other intents too in the bot. Okay, so this is how the NLU will try to find some relevant information in the user input, and once the relevant information has been found, okay, the next thing is the Rasa core will decide what will be the next action. So this was one of the command that just I have shown you. This is Rasa shell NLU. All these things you can find on Rasa official docs. It won't be a it won't be an issue for you people to find it. Just wanted to show you, whenever you want to debug your bot, you can just load your NLE model and see where the bot is performing incorrectly. Okay, I will move further. So now the same thing we can do on Rasa X also. Just show you how this will be done on Rasa X. So Rasa X will be it will be launched in your web browser. Okay, we see some warnings here. Okay, so just copy this link and paste on my web browser. Let's see if it works. So this is what you have just seen when we started the session. This is the Rasa X interface where we can talk to the bot. Okay, so same conversation can be done here also, you see. But how Rasa X is great, I'll explain, but I will try to give you a brief as of now. You see, whenever you type some input, user types some input, the intent, you can see the intent here. It has been classified as greet, which was not possible in Rasa shell, basically the terminal. You can't see what is the intent for the present input. And you see the next action being performed here is by the bot is utter greet. So two things are very much clear as of now. And your story is also created here for, up to whatever you have, whatever the conversation has been done till now, the story will be saved here. Cool. I will proceed further. Let's say I'm sad. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the default, Rasa bot. So on the cell, obviously we can't see the image, but here you can see. Okay. There's some other features of Rasa X also which I will cover in detail. Okay, just wanted to show you how the default bot can be run on terminal and the Rasa X environment also. Cool. Guys, if any doubt as of now, just ping us.
So, guys, can you just follow the instruction that Vishal just showed? Uh, Vishal, can you just find that link in the chat? This link. So this link has all the commands which is there required to launch the basically project. So, and if you guys can just quickly follow that.
Okay, so guys, I have posted this basic bot, basic commands link. You can find all the commands here.
So let's just take a 2-3 minutes to just launch all commands. So as Vishal explained, so it starts with ASA init, and then it will ask you to do all steps to train the bot and uh, test the bot, and testing could be to Rasa shell, or you can also invoke Rasa X to test the bot. So you can also see all the training data and configuration there itself in that particular directory, and we'll use that this project to build an actual restaurant bot. Cool. So just take 2-3 minutes to just go through the document and see if you can quickly type the Rasa init command and then quickly set up your project.
So guys, you can see the link, whatever I have posted on this chat window, you will find the link, and you can see this is what basically we just covered here, like creating a new project by using Rasa init. We have seen our NLU training data. We have seen the configuration in basically the NLU pipeline and the policies. We have seen some basic stories. We have seen what domain file contains, and we have trained our model. So by default, the model has been trained for the default project when we were creating the project. I will show you how to again train our own model. Once you create basically more data, you have to train your model again. For that, there is a very basic command known as Rasa train. Okay, this is the command, use Rasa train. Okay. Once your model is trained, you can test your assistant by using Rasa test, or you can just open Rasa shell and talk to your bot. Simple. Cool. We have covered this, so I hope you are familiar with these things now. Okay. I have right now I'm using this file actions.py file. What it is? So it contains the code for our custom actions. Basically, show you. If you see this actions file for the default project, everything is commented. There is one class you can find here, action hello world. Okay, so this is the action class. So it is inheriting the action class which already has been defined in the Rasa code. So these are custom actions basically, which will be needed further. Let's say you want to call some external third-party APIs, or you want to integrate your bot with your database, where you must be filing some SQL queries or NoSQL things. For that, this action.py file is very important. So this bot right now is very static in nature. It doesn't call, or it doesn't involve any such operation. And these are DB files basically, which basically stores all our conversations from Rasa X and Rasa shell. further you can, fetch all this conversation and stories and test your bot. For testing purposes, those conversations will be important. Okay. So I hope the basic commands are clear to everyone. Okay. So, okay. Uses of slots and how can we incorporate our chatbot to a third party. Yeah, Swaroop. So as we are going, step by step, we will definitely try to show you how slots are being used. Okay, and what are the uses of slots? Yeah, obviously we have used the slots in our project also. I would I will try to show you how slots are used. Yeah. Okay. So what I will do now is, uh, in this default chatbot project, whatever we have, I will start writing. I will start covering one of the basic flow of the restaurant bot that we have built. I will try to cover some of the scenarios. Okay. So parallel, you guys can also, practice. So this is our restaurant bot. This is our data here. Okay. So what I will do is simply, I won't create the data again from the scratch, which we already have created, and some entities are also tagged already. What I will do, I will just simply copy paste this data. I hope everybody got the link to this repo. You can find this project and all data from there. So I will just simply paste the entire data here so that it will be easy for us to train. Not doing anything, just copy pasting the data from the restaurant bot to our default bot here right now, so that I can show you how to train and create stories on our own. So you see right now there are some dummy stories here. Okay, so we'll try to create one story on our own. Camera. Yeah, we continue. So, guys, in our restaurant bot, if you remember the flow, okay, let's see some basic stories. Okay, so if you remember the conversation that I have shown you initially in the session, that when I said yes, the bot responded with some other response. Then again, bot asked for the location. I tell my location. Some action is being invoked here. You see, so all the actions basically, are prefixes with, they start with action keyword basically. After that, you can name it accordingly. And these actions, all these are known as custom actions. These are all defined in our actions.py file, where some third party APIs or database or some other backend systems are created and further can be used for pre-processing. So this action will be triggered, and after that there is a concept called slot. So slot is nothing but the moment I say I'm living in some location or in some part of the world, the very next thing should be to, for the bot to extract the location from the user text, because the user text could be anything like, I have given input as I'm living in Mumbai, Hyderabad, or some part of New York or any other city. So that will be extracted. But once it is extracted, we need to, save the information for further. We may need in future basically to perform some other operations. Obviously, we will need the location and cuisine, both the parameters, to hit the Zomato API to get a list of restaurants. I hope the flow was clear. So for that, we will be using a slot. We will save that extracted location in a slot called location. Slot is nothing, it's just a memory, just a variable which can be used in the text of the bot, basically in a present session. Okay, whenever you're talking to a bot, you can save your, valuable information in the slots. That's it. This is how slot works. Cool. So this is a very basic story. This is how we write a story basically. I wanted to tell you. I will quickly go. I have not shown you as of now how this action telling location looks, action set location looks like. I will try to show you. Like, just give me a second. So you can see this actions file here. So this is, I mean, so big. So I won't be able to cover everything. We'll just give you a brief intro. I have already explained that every action class, inherits the action you know, the action class here, so that it can you can basically override these functions. Every time it will have two functions, name and run. So this name should always return the name of the action that you are writing in your story. Make sure whatever story you are writing here. So here we are mentioning action set location. So the same action should be mentioned here also. Once it is done, I'm pretty much sure that whenever this story is being used while conversation, this action will be predicted next and it will be invoked as a custom action here. This run method or the function will do your job basically. So as of now, our job is to, you know, extract location from the user input. That's what we are trying to do it. We are extracting the user input and trying to call a Bing API here. You see, Bing API is, you know, it's one of the best API offered by Microsoft to extract locations and other things. So here we are able to extract our location. Once the location is extracted, you see, I'm setting the location in a slot here. You see, the moment I do it, my location will be saved in the slot location so that I can further use it. I hope it's clear. A typical custom action looks like this, guys. You can refer after the session, like why I'm creating the object here, of what is this class all about. We have defined above here this being location extractor. It's nothing but calling an API. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing fancy. So I hope it's clear as of now what we are doing, what we are trying to achieve. We're trying to extract location from the user input. Okay. Once we are done with extracting location, we move and ask the user about the cuisine the user will prefer. So again, user will type some text on the chatbot screen and it should be classified as telling cuisine. Okay. Because the user, okay, if you see the telling cuisine, okay, telling cuisine data, you will find that how it's look like. This is what telling cuisine intent looks like. I will prefer to eat Mexican or eat Italian, Chinese. This is how it looks like. So whenever user types something like that, this intent is classified. Okay. And a cuisine called, let's say, Chinese or Italian or Mexican will be extracted from the user input. So guys, you see there is a little bit difference of, you know, extracting the entities here. So we have in our present chatbot, you know, in this restaurant bot, if you see here, we have tagged all our cuisines as entities. I hope entity is clear. Okay, entity is some specific use or some useful information that we want to use in the utterances. Okay, so cuisine is tagged as one of the entity, but if you see telling location, in telling location we have not tagged our locations of cities or local areas. So may I know why we're not tagging location like cuisines? Can somebody come up with the answer? Like, why can't we just do the same thing with the locations? Why we are basically, I'm asking why we are hitting an external third-party API known as Bing API to extract location, but to extract cuisines we are not hitting an API. So
Yeah, guys. So if you know the flow, we have two entities in the this scope, and one entity we need from the user is a location, another entity which we need from the user is a cuisine. So as he mentioned that we had to tag the cuisine, to train the bot, but we haven't done for the location. So any specific reason why we haven't trained the location in our own Rasa bot? If you can just answer in the chat box. Just wanted to know that you are with us, or you got the scope of the bot and you understand the the entity concepts and and all these things.
yeah, so guys, you see location is absent here as entity, and I've already shown we have not tagged location as an entity, but cuisine is present. But yeah, slots will always be there because we want to save some information. I hope you got the idea. For location, we are hitting a third-party API library, and for cuisine, we are not doing it. We are including in our training data here, and we will train a basically model where it will learn how to extract cuisines. So
Yeah.
somebody
So
has,
as everyone mentioned that there could be too many locations, and we can't really hard code the location, right? Because uh, practically we can't tag or come up with all the locations, right? So we need to we need to depend on third party APIs, where something like Google Maps or Bing Maps to fetch the location from their service. Or we can use, if you guys know system entities like Spacio or Ducklin, we can also use that for extracting the locations or cities or countries and all, right? So coming to entities, there are two types of entities. One is the system entity, where you don't have to tag all everything. For example, location, dates, time, right? Because this practically you can't tag or train with all sorts of possibilities, right? And something which is very niche in terms of entities, you can always go ahead and tag, right? Because that sort of training data or pre-trained entities will not be available, on the internet. Cool.
Okay. So guys, yeah, as Yogesh mentioned, like we cannot, as a user, we cannot train our bot for date and time because there will be so many dates, so many time possible. Yeah. So for that, we can use some other, functionalities to extract some pre-trained model basically. Okay, but as of now, our scope is limited to, let's say, cuisine. So we know that there will be limit some 100 or 120 sets of cuisines possible, max to max. But in case of locations, we don't like there are so many countries. Again, in the countries we have so many states, capital cities, then local areas. Yeah, so it won't be feasible to create data for location and tag location as a separate entity. So for that, we are using a Bing API, which basically takes our user input as a text, and it will just fetch the location, and we simply set the location value in a slot. And again, the next thing we do is we try to fetch cuisine from the user input. I already have told you that we have trained our model for cuisine data. That will be also set in a slot known as cuisine. So now at this point of time, we have both the requirements have been fulfilled. Our location and cuisine present with us. The next action is action show restaurant. So this action will basically, you know, try to fetch all the restaurants. So this is the action based upon the cuisine value and the location value. Zomato API is again hit, and we get all the restaurants as a list, as I have already shown in the starting of the session. So I have a basic, story, a flow is clear. Now there will be, if you see, there's so many stories. So every story, is trying to cover a different scenario. So this is the kind of happy path where user is giving us all the relevant information in a flow, in a structured manner that bot is asking. You may have to cover other flows like, so if you see the story, user is start with a hi or hello. What if user comes and directly say, okay, I'm hungry, I would like to eat Italian. I mean, directly comes and tell you the cuisine is looking for. So for that, you will have to cover like the stories. I will try to show you that kind of story where the user comes and directly say, I mean, here you see user comes and directly tell you the location, or user can come and directly say tell you the cuisine basically. I want to tell you why we have so many stories. Like the flow looks very 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 simple, but believe me, users can come and ask anything. So you need to cover all the scenarios as much as possible. So I will be focusing on this simple flow for this webinar, and further you can play with other stories also, like how they are you know working. So once we are able to show the restaurants, all the restaurants are being shown to the user. So this is not present in our flow right now, but we have just added in last 2 days that we again ask for a booking basically to the user. So if user says yes, I'm fine with the booking, we again proceed further with the booking by using a concept called forms, Rasa forms basically. It's a different concept where we fill again some other information that I will show you, like all the information required, like after choosing, while basically booking a table, we will require number of people, the phone number and time basically that I have that I have shown you. Okay, while basically booking a table. So yeah, so this is a typical story. Okay, so what we will do is we'll try to copy this story. You guys also can do. You can copy this story and paste in, our webinar bot that I just created. I will the NLU.md file already I have copied. Basically, all the NLU data is available with us. If you see the stories, but we don't have the story, so I will pick this story. Very simple story here. Okay, cool. So what things we need to take care of? So yeah, so other things is we need to modify our domain file also, because now in our NLU file we have some entities and some intents. Okay, so those intents and those entities are not present in our default project. Remember that. You need to, change your domain file also here. You see here the domain files look different. Only these much of intents are present. So what we do is we will try to copy other intents. And so there are, if you see the actions here, only the utter actions are there. Utter ones are nothing but they just, uh, they're used to display a static message. Okay, but you have seen we have some custom actions also. We will do it. So we will try to, copy all the NLU, all the intents basically. So just a minute, guys. I will go to the domain file of our restaurant bot that we already have built in CLL repo. Okay, so these are all the intents we have. Okay, so all these intents we will, copy. Simply we'll just copy it and we'll go to the webinar domain file. So we are done. So we have handled all the intents. Okay, let's see the responses. As of now, only few basic responses that comes with the default project are there. But obviously we have, configured some other process too. Okay, you see the responses, a lot of responses. Okay, so I won't be typing again all these things. What I will do, I just copy these responses. Or you guys can simply replace the domain file also. It won't be an issue. But I'm going one step at a time. I'm showing you what all things are required. Okay. So I pasted it successfully. Okay. So we are done with intents and we are done with responses. Okay. But if you see the file here, you will see the list of actions here. Can you see the list of actions here? But the default one has limited set of responses. So we'll copy all the actions also. I copied our all the actions. We are done with responses. We are done with intents. Still we are remaining with entities, because as you have seen uh, the default NLU data, it doesn't have any entities, but our bot has entities. We have entities now. What else is remaining basically? So we are left with the slots basically. So if you see, slots and entities comes hand to hand. So all the entity value we try to save in the slots so that we can utilize those values in future. We are done with entities, guys. We are done with slots. I hope all these terminologies are clear to you. We are done with intents. Intents, nothing but telling location, cuisine. Telling location, cuisine, both the things in one utterance is also possible. Telling them separately is also possible. Okay, telling the phone number of guys you want to book for it, date and time, all these are also possible. Okay, I will remove this bot challenge as intent. It's not there now. It was present in the default basically. I hope other intents are present. Okay. If there are some issues while training it, we will find on the terminal that if we are missing on something. We're done with responses, we're done with intents, actions. Yeah. So the last thing which is remaining is our new feature basically, which is a form. So form is basically we have used form for table booking purpose. I think we are ready with our domain file. You see the domain file is, you know, it has all the information related to a bot. By just looking at your domain file, you can figure it out what this bot is all about. I hope it's clear how to configure a domain file. We are done with creating NLU data. We have created a very simple story. You see, so these were the existing stories, and this is the story we just copy pasted from our, restaurant bot. I hope it's clear, guys. If any doubt, just ping in the chat window. Like we will try to figure it out. So there was a question: location can be captured through Bing API. Can we have multiple slots? Yeah. So location we have captured through Bing API only, and it's a question is there: can we have multiple slots? Yeah. Obviously, I have shown you there are so many slots. Okay. Yeah. So I will proceed further. Thing. Yeah. I will assume there are no doubts. Okay. Good. Yeah, so we have one story ready with us. We have all the NLU data ready with us. Our domain file is configured properly. Okay. Now what next? The next are these actions, guys. These actions. You see these actions. Yeah. I mean, all these actions contain some custom. Okay. So I will pick. I will try to, I will try to copy paste all the actions, and whatever required actions will be used from this file. I will go to my actions file in this webinar bot, which you see the default action file is, this is kind of empty or commented. It's of no use as of now. The static bot doesn't need any action. You just copy paste it. So yeah, you see there are some 300 lines of code here. Yeah, so we have optimized our code a little bit. Initially, it used to be 300, 400 plus lines. So all these libraries are already imported and all the classes are defined. Okay, I think we are done with action class also. We'll see if we get some errors. I will try to debug on the go. Guys, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. I will try to wait for you. I'm hoping that some guys are definitely practicing parallelly with me. Okay. Nobody's responding. Just 100 guys. Okay. Guys, I hope you all are present or I'm talking alone. I'm feeling like I'm alone here. Okay, great. Okay, thanks. Okay. I hope the session is not boring. Okay, good. Okay, guys. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, so uh, guys, yeah, I do understand there are a lot of code being written here. I mean, I can't explain all the code here. I mean, this project has been built over months. It took us months, but yes, you can always ping us to understand a particular piece of code if you want to understand. We'll always be there to make you understand. So I have right now I'm giving a high level overview of everything and trying to make you understand how to build a bot, what all other files we need to configure. Yeah, thanks. I'm not alone. Good. Okay, we are done. So I will again repeat. We are done with our data. I will just show you our data once. See our data. You just see the data right now. Number of lines we have in the data. Some 500 lines of data is there, and believe me, we have manually created this data because this bot is, it's not a client project or a industry project where we have some specific requirements and the data is available with us. There were no specific requirements. This bot is all part of our imagination and creativity. There were some contributors with us, obviously, in this project. Yogesh led the entire team, to build this bot. I was one of the contributors. I hope, like I want others to also contribute in this project. We are open, being a community. Okay, guys, and
Yeah, so we have a doubt. Can you please explain the last line of NLU.P?
yeah,
What is that? Can
great,
you show the
great.
last
So,
line?
guys, this is a concept of lookup table basically. As I mentioned, let's say there are some 200 entities values for cuisine. Okay, so what we actually do is we give some we give okay just yeah, so you see there are some uh, entities as cuisine rolls or Rajasthani or Egyptian or Australian Chinese, but if you see there are still some cuisines which are not present here. So for that what we do is we create a list of all those entities and paste it in a file. It looks like this, guys. Just see, it's a list of all the entities. You see there are 124 entities. Okay, but just see in this NLU file, I can tell you that we have not covered all those entities, all those values basically for the cuisine. So out of maybe 120, we must have covered 20-25 cuisines. Rest we have put in this cuisine.txt file. What this file is known as, this is nothing but a lookup table. So when we train our bot, so these values will be taken into consideration also, and for that we don't need to increase our training data size. They will be automatically extracted. I hope it's clear. Like this is one of the way to improve your like entity extraction. So there are two things basically in NLU: intent classification and entity extraction. So for entity extraction purposes, we can use lookup table. Shubham, I hope it's clear. Okay, what is the difference between lookup and intent? Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, first you asked about the last time. I explained the concept of lookup table, but at the end we have to mention this is nothing but a path of that file. Okay. Now the next question is what is the difference between lookup and intent? So guys, intent is the basic structure. Intent and entities are the basic components of any bot. Intent is basically you can say we have defined all our training data into some category buckets. Let's say one intent is telling date time. If you see all these user inputs, all the utterances, okay, all this tells us date and time. So all these will fall under this intent telling date time. There will be an intent call as telling number of people. Okay, here we have utterances like booking table for how many people, we are tagging them also. Okay, so this is what intent is. Whereas lookup table contains all the list of entities which we want to extract. So these two things are like, please don't be confused about these two things. They are completely different. I hope it's clear. Okay. Cool. Shubham. Okay. So we will proceed further. Yeah. So we are done with our training data. We are done with our domain. We are done with our custom actions. Okay. I just discussed about lookup table also. This is one of the concept, which helps us to reduce our training data. Okay. 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 Good. Am I left with something else? So slowly, I will close all those files which are not required. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I need to include the lookup tables also. I'll just copy, this folder and we'll paste in the data. So yeah, we got the same file here also. Okay, I'll just close it. Yeah, so we have since I also mentioned the path of lookup table here, I don't want to miss that file. Otherwise, we'll have some exceptions or errors. Yeah. And we add other .txt file for, yeah, sure. So for as of now, we have like our major entity is cuisine, guys. Okay, so you can have other entities like let's say you are building a bot for some organizations and you have limited set of organization names like Apple, Microsoft, Google. So you can create a list of all those entity values and again create a file called org.txt. Make sure your entity value or entity name matches with your lookup table file so that you can sync with it. So as of now, our scope of the bot, it takes care of only the major entities cuisine, which we are training on. Other things we are trying to fetch from third-party APIs and libraries, so we don't need to have all the data. Okay, cool. So yeah, we are done with NLU. We are done with stories configuration. You can keep this configuration as the standard one, the pipeline that we're following. Okay, I'll just close this file. Actions we are done. Domain file. I hope I'm not missing anything. This is the domain from okay, our restaurant bot. Okay. Cool guys. So next thing what we will do is we'll try to train our bot and see how this turns out to be. I will.
Manil, so we can either only include .text file or we can include the list of values in the same NLU.mp file. So right now Rasa only supports those two forms.
Actually, now I think in the latest version, the list way is also depreciated. So we need to mention the .txt path basically. Initially, I'll just show you like what you can do is we were able to mention all the cuisines here itself. So right now it is like we were using that way, but now that way is also depreciated. Okay, so we will train this bot and see if we get some errors. We will try to fix it. Guys, I hope we're clear with this. Values. Okay, so make sure you are in the current working directory, which is webinar bot here. I'm not in the restaurant bot. Guys, we have just created one more bot here. We are in the virtual environment required. This is my virtual environment that I just created. Okay, where Rasa and Rasa X both are set up. Guys, okay, there is one more thing you need to take care of before you launch your bot. Okay, I will just tell you. So before that, we will train our bot by saying Rasa train. Let's see if we get some errors or okay. So it is training the NLP model. I see. Okay, so there are 13 intents it says, and there are some 467 utterances or examples. The intents that it has like the bot is able to find while training. These are the intents basically. Okay, there are some 226 entities. Obviously, it is taking into consideration the lookup table also, and so these are the entities that it is able to find. Guys, can you see here now? It's training. Yeah, so it is able to train. Yeah, this is the pipeline of Rasa NLU. You see, it's trying to train it. So this is the new classifier that Rasa has added, diet classifier. So this single classifier, is able to uh, do intent classification, entity extraction. I here is intent classification, E here is entity extraction. Previous to that, the old pipelines, we used to have a CRF entity extractor, which will just lie above it, which will be responsible to extract entities. Then we will have a SVM classifier basically instead of diet classifier. It's a new pipeline, guys. So we are training it. You can see all the losses has been minimized. Number of epochs also basically we can take care of. So where we can handle all those configuration here in the config file itself. If you see, we have given 100 epochs for diet classifier. So that's why it's taking some time. Okay, till then I will wait. If you have queries, doubts, you can ping us. I will try to answer, guys. I hope everyone is following it. Where to put Bing Map API keys? Okay, I thought you guys will explore it, but okay, I will do it for you. I'm free as of now. I will go to the actions file basically. So guys, I explained this action set location. So what it was doing was it was trying to extract the location, and it was setting a slot for us. Okay, so this is the class for Bing API that we have written. Okay, I will go to this class here. So this class have the API, API related information, the key basically you're asking. Okay, this is the key basically. You can update your own key here. You can register for it, and this is the URL for the API endpoint. The endpoint we are hitting is the locations. Where is the LSTM model? Okay, guys. So as of now, if you see, uh, so it says core training was skipped because no valid domain file was found. So there must be some issue with our domain file, or I mean, I must have done some mistake while designing this file. Okay, we'll see what mistake we have done. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I must have done copy pasted, so I must have not taken care of indentation basically. Yeah, so before that I will answer that LSTM. Okay, so you see your RASA model is trained and saved at this location models. Okay, so this is our model tar file. So all our models are saved here basically, but since because of some issues, they have already mentioned that our core training is skipped because no valid domain file was found. Only NLU model have been created. You see, so we can play with NLU model as of now. Okay, it's saying please specify a valid domain using argument. Okay, so the issue is not with the domain. I mean the path is correct. The issue is with the way I have copy pasted it. So what I mean to say is, even if there is some indentation issues, you will find some issues while training. So the best thing I can do is I will try to delete this domain file. Yes. So instead of copy pasting, I should have actually uh, you know simply picked up the domain file from here. Yeah, I will pause. Now I will paste in the webinar bot. Simple. Okay, so we got it. I hope the issues are resolved now. If they are not resolved, I will proceed with our existing bot, because they have not specified a particular error why we are getting the error. Okay, we will train it again, guys. Hopefully this time we'll be able to train both of our models. So luckily, since we got this error, we can see that there are two models, NLU and core. So both of them will be zipped into one file in the models directory. Train it again, guys. Okay, you have defined a form action but haven't added the form policy. Okay, now there is one more issue. We have not added the form policy. So since we are using a form, I already have told you. You see, we have using the form, but we have not defined in the configuration file basically. In the policies, we need to define the form policy. Let's see what is that particular policy. Okay, so there is a policy known as form policy, guys. Okay, better we will copy this configuration file also, because we are using something known as duckling entity extractor, for extracting some default uh, phone number and time, date and time things. Because I already have told you we are not training on those things. This is what I will do. But see, now the entire pipeline will be changed here. So this is the previous pipeline I was talking about. There will be a CRF entity extractor, and there will be a different classifier. So both the things have different components. Now we have included the form policy also, guys. I hope it's clear now. By all these errors, we are able to understand what are all these things. Okay, still, I feel this cannot access action. So there is a name error, cannot action utter cheer, as the name is not a registered action for this domain. Cool. Let's see about this utter cheer up. So guys, first thing is domain. Okay. So basically there is no utter cheer up here, but there must be something in these stories. Yeah. So because it was a default bot and we don't have this utter cheer in our bot, so that's why it's throwing error. So one thing is either I can define it or I'm not sure how many other are missing. Just a minute, guys. I'll see something else is missing. Okay. I'll try to remove this upper cheer up, but then I will have to remove all these stories. Cool. Let's remove it. Upper happy and upper guilty is there. Uh, just a minute. Let me see. Upper happy is also not here. Better if we remove that story also. Let's continue with the fresh bot basically. Okay. Okay. So right now we are able to train our core model this time. You see, I'll just show you. So we are training our core model here. So yeah, again, it's saying that utter slot values is listed as an action in the domain file, but there is no matching utterance template. It could be one of the issues again, guys. What it is saying that there is something called as utter slot values. Yeah, we have it, not a problem. And we have utter slot values here also. Okay, we will see. Just a minute, guys. So yeah, somebody was asking about LSTM. So this is how LSTM is being trained here. There are some 11,000 parameters on which it is trained. All these are default configuration again. You can play with these configuration also. Okay. Let's see it is training. Since we have, I think, enough data. So guys, I think we are able to train our core model also. Yeah, core model was completed and now it was training NLU. I hope NLU is also treated. There is some not NLU. Few things we can ignore, not a problem. And NLU is also completed, guys. Okay. Finally, this model is trained and saved at this directory it is mentioning. Now this webinar bot thing has a models directory already have. There are some models here. Some were successfully trained, some were not. So by default, whenever we try to use our bot, the latest model is always used. Okay, guys. Hopefully, we will be able to chat with our bot in Rasa X. Actually, I explain other features of Rasa X also. So yeah, okay, just a minute, guys. So as of now, you see, so we will require three terminals basically. I will explain. First one for running Rasa X server. Second one will be for there is unknown intent. Goodbye. Yeah, there's some issues. No problem. We'll see. So the server is running at this URL localhost. We'll copy paste it. Not a problem. So this second terminal, guys, I will use. So guys, this actions file you see. So this action file should always be running in the background because we never know when the actions will be triggered. So this action file for running this action file, just like we are running a Rasa server here. Similarly, we'll be running our action server by using a command rasa run actions. Okay, so these are the registered actions here. You can see. Okay, set location, show restaurants, kind of thing. You should you should see all these things on your action server while doing it. Third thing I was talking about was just show you. Just a minute, just show you. So as I'm using UC a duckling extractor, it is also running on localhost 8000 port. This is also kind of one of the server which we'll be using. For that, you can run a Docker image. You will find that Docker image on Rasa documentation link to the basically Docker image. You can download it and you can just run it. So you see this this is running at this URL. Okay. I hope it's clear, guys. So there are three terminals I'm using. I will just reiterate. One is for Rasa X. I will try to copy this link, which I will use in the web browser. Second one is for Rasa, basically action server we are running here. I hope just a moment. Let me check. Okay. Okay, guys. So just wanted to tell you guys there is one more file endpoints.yml. So you see in the default Rasa project, this endpoint is also commented that we need to uncomment. This is a change that we need to do. I will try to run this server again. Cool. Okay. We'll try to launch this Rasa X server. It's a different name. Let's see if we're able to launch it. Okay, we are able to launch it. Let's see if we have the particular story that we are talking about here. So this is the Rasa X feature where we have the story and there you can find a flow also here. I will zoom it. I hope it's visible. Somebody is. So will the recordings be available later for us in any public platform? Yeah, I think yeah, we do upload it on YouTube. Yep. Yes, we'll do.
Yeah, we'll share the recording later. So it might take around a week or so to get it, but we'll definitely upload it.
Okay, guys. So this is what I was trying to explain. We are moving forward with just one story. I hope it's enough for our bot. So yeah, I will explain Rasa X now one by one. Okay. So there are few things. First feature is talking to a bot. So again, there will be two mode of talking. I will explain. There are conversations tab where all your previous conversations are saved for your future references. Basically, you can flag them if you see the bot is not performing well, so that later in the stage you can modify your bot and improve your performance. Okay, this is one of the feature again. This is the models directory we will, you know, the same models directory which contains all the models basically. Okay, so okay, I will try to use. Obviously, we need to use the latest model. What I will do, I will train one more model here. Okay. For that, we have a train button. You see, you can just click on it, just like we use a command rasa train on the shell. Similarly, on rasa x, you can click on train, and your model will be trained. Okay. There are responses basically. These responses we have configured in the domain file, if you remember. Okay. You can edit here also. Then we have stories. I already explained. We have the configuration. You see, the configuration is here. Okay. Okay, and just we have domain. Yeah, so they were okay. So the best thing with Rasa X is it also tells us there are some inconsistencies with this file. So entity time was found, but was missing in turning data. Okay, 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 guys. Okay, okay. So yeah, I found the issue. Guys, the issue was basically in our CLL repo, basically in the restaurant bot. Just a minute, guys. I will see the data. Okay, we will see. We'll see. So, so we are done. Like I have almost covered everything. What is NLU training here? So yeah, so this NLU training will have your training data basically. Here you will find all your training data. If you want to delete something, you can delete it. If you want to change the intent, you can change the intent also. Not a problem. There you can find other features, regular expressions, synonyms that we have not covered yet. Okay, we have done this stories, we have done responses, we have done configuration. We have already seen the domain file. Okay, so we will again, let's see, we will train it here also. Want to use basically the latest model in Vista sites. So we will get a prompt basically once the model is trained. So it's training here, you can see on the terminal. So it says training is done. I hope we can see our new model here. I think on the top we always get a new model. So I will select it and I will just make it active. Okay, others are of no use to us. Now we'll go to the bot. We'll try to talk to the bot. I hope it will respond. Okay, I don't see that message thing coming here. Just yeah. Okay. So again, you can talk to the bot in two different modes. The mode that we are doing right now is the interactive learning mode. Okay. First, I will cover this, and next, I will tell you about other mode basically. Let's see if the bot responds. We are saying just a hi. Uh, yeah, the first, yeah, it has actually started the conversation. So it says, hey, how are you working? How to find stuff based on your preferred location cuisine. Okay, so if you see our stories here, yeah, when I say hey, it responds with utter greet. So hey was greet basically. Hey was greet. It was classified as greet properly here. Okay, and if you think it is not correct, you can correct this here. There is a option to correct it here. I will show you if some misclassification is done later in the stage. I will show you how to correct it. So the bot responds with utter greet. Okay, okay, cool. So there is a utter greet message which we have configured already. You see, the story is also created parallelly. The story which is being used basically right now. Okay. So now this is action listen. Action listen is nothing but the bot is waiting for the user message. Okay. So you see, yeah. So we can just tell the location uh, and proceed further. Okay. So let's say I'm living in Mumbai this time. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there is issue. It's saying telling location. I'm living in Mumbai, but it is not going further. Basically, ideally it should call the Bing API and detect all those things. So if we go to this action server, I don't see any error. Okay, nothing. Ideally, this action should have been triggered. Action set location. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay, I will try to correct it here. Okay, so it should actually set the location. Let's say I will do it intentionally. So there is some error. Just a moment, guys. Endpoint was not configured. Uh, I think I already have configured the endpoint. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, I have configured the endpoint. Okay. Okay, we'll do it. We'll, we'll just run. How do you debug while training interactively? Okay, so that's guys. That's what I'm doing. Ideally, the next action should have been action set location, but it was not. Okay, it was just action listen. So there I found that the way I have written my story here, you know, I have written the next location, the next thing as action set location. So that's how I found that okay, this is something is going wrong here. So I have corrected this here itself. Okay, okay. Let me see further what was the issue. Okay. Looks like the issue with the endpoint. Okay, I'll try to run it again maybe. Mhm. Okay, so we'll run these two things again, guys. One is Rasa X, and one will be Rasa run actions. Okay, duckling is already there. Okay, at least I want to, the basic flow I want to show you guys. At least it should be able to show the list of restaurants. Okay, let's copy this link. This link will be expired. So yeah, see the conversation has been saved. Okay. Okay, so okay. Yes. So now I'm talking in the interactive learning mode, guys. Earlier it was just a simple, simple mode where you can just talk to the bot. Right now you have the control over the all the things basically. So if you think your model is misclassifying, you can just correct it here itself. Okay. So right now when I type hi, basically it says intent is greet with 0.82 confidence. So yeah, it's fine. So when I say hi, so the next action the model has predicted is utter greet. Yeah, it looks fine to me. I will say okay, proceed further. And the next thing should wait for the user to respond. So next action should be action listen. I will proceed further. Okay. So now next thing I should provide my location. Okay. So I'm in Mumbai. Let's say again. So it's telling location. Yeah, I'm telling the location. It's classifying properly, not an issue. But again, the next action it is, triggering is action listen. But ideally, it should be action set location. Maybe it is due to very less number of stories. Okay, I will try to put more stories. Or okay, I just want to check how it is working now. Okay, so guys, now see. So it has able to extract the location now. You see how we can debug through this interactive learning. So, but again, by I mean, I ideally it should be the next action should be the action set location, but it was predicting action listen to me. So that was something wrong, and I'm sure it is wrong because we have just one story, guys. So, but we should have more stories basically. We should have included more stories. I just included one story. Okay, but still for the sake of completeness, I'm showing you how you can debug it. Okay, so here I got the response and my slot is also set in Rasa X. You can see whether your location has been fetched here and the slot is being saved here, and here you can see the stories are also created. Okay, and once your location is set, let's see what was the next thing in our story. Accordingly I will proceed further. Okay, the next thing should be, once the slot is set, guys, we should ask the user about the cuisine. Okay, But again, here it is predicting next section as action deletion. That means again we have less stories, so we need to put more stories. I will show you guys how to put more stories. The next thing should be to ask the cuisines, basically the type of cuisine you would like to eat. Okay, the next action predicted is action deletion. Yeah, obviously the user should respond now. Okay, I'm fine with it. I will say okay, cool. Now I will type okay, going to eat some Chinese food, let's say. Yeah, I'm fine with Chinese food. So yeah, intent looks fine to me. Telling cuisine. Yeah, obviously the confidence score looks very less, 0.44. But yes, it's fine. It's the topmost intent. Okay. So once you say you're done with the cuisine, telling cuisine, again, my cuisine is extracted from the input as Chinese. You can see here, my cuisine is set in the slot also. Can you see this? Okay, if something is wrong here, you will find it either with your slot value or with your entity value. If something is wrong, you will find it on the RasaX. That's the best part about RasaX. Those things you will not never find on Rasa shell. You will never understand what's going on. You will have to debug it manually. Okay. So once you are done with telling the cuisine and all these things, are done, what next, guys? Okay. Once it asks, you tell the cuisine. Once the slots are set, now the next thing is to show the restaurants, guys. Now we have both the things, guys. We have the location, we have the cuisine. Can we go and show all the restaurants now? Yeah, we can go. Let's see if the API is it properly, the Zomato API, and uh, yeah, guys, successfully we are able to find all the restaurants. You see, with the name you can correlate, like, yeah, dim sum who, it seems like a Chinese restaurant only. Okay, so guys, this was the basic flow of our chatbot. Next thing is, uh, this is the latest feature we have implemented. I'm not sure whether it will work. So the next thing is we ask the user whether he wants to book a table, basically. Okay. uh, so it's not a production level bot. So uh, we are trying to explore all the features of Rasa right now. Okay, it's not like, ideally it should be first, we should ask the user to choose the restaurant he's looking for, then we should proceed further with table booking. But right now we were just implementing the feature known as forms. We wanted to explore it, so we just implemented it for the sake of, again, using the feature. So the next action predictor is utter ask for booking. Yeah, it seems fine to me. This is what I have written in my story, guys. Okay, I will go with it, guys. Okay, so it says, would you like to do the table booking? Okay, so the moment you say, uh, okay, I should say yes, I should. Yeah, I mean, do it basically. So next intent is affirm. Yes, it's, and the next action should be the form. The form should be activated, guys. Uh, okay, I'll try to explain about the forms basically. So as of now, you can see the form should be activated. So yeah, the next section is predicted correctly. Uh, Restaurant form. Okay, the form should be activated. I'll click on. Okay, now guys, the form has been activated, and it's asking me to know the number of people coming. Okay, so obviously the user will respond. So the action relation should be the next action. Okay, I will respond with, say, okay, we are some 6 guys. Okay, so I see the intent is also correct. No need to change. I will go with it. Okay. So okay, we are done with 68. Okay. So you see, I mean, we are able to fetch number as 6. Okay. I think, uh, just a minute, guys. Okay, yeah, it's fine, not a problem. So we're able to extract the number of people as 6, not a problem. The next thing that this form is asking the user to share your contact number, guys. Okay, and here you can see the slot was also set for the number of people. Okay, because the slot needs to be reused for that, I already told you. So it's not just about extracting the values. The very next thing you should do is setting that value in some slot or a variable, so that you can again use it further. So that's what I did. Okay, we have set the slide. The next requested slot is phone number basically, and asking me to share your location or contact number. Sorry. So I will say okay, and I will say okay, it's some random number. As of now, we have not put any validation on uh, a proper contact number, just some random number. It will always extract these numbers. So, yeah. So there was some guys, there was some issue. Requested slot. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Please share your contact number. Then it should ask. Yeah, basically it should be asking from the user. Okay. I think this form is not working properly. Still, we'll try. Okay, it looks fine to me. Telling phone number, yeah, I'm telling the phone number. Okay, I hope. Yeah, phone number is also extracted. Okay, okay. Yeah, so there was some issue here. It is terminated, maybe due to some next action. I must have predicted wrong next actions while implementing the form. So guys, I hope it's clear up to this. At least let's leave this new feature. I hope it's clear how we debug or how we add stories. Okay. Okay, I will see some questions coming up. Okay, 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 guys. So yeah, so what I will do, so I already have shown you a proper execution of our bot where we were able to hook the table also. So since we have just one story, guys, it may not be working properly. But if you try to run that entire bot, if you train the bot with the entire data, you will see that it will always work fine. So yeah, I'm able to, so we are able to explore all the features of Rasa X also. So all those things we were doing on Rasa, we are able to do it on Rasa X also. Okay. Guys, any doubt you can just ask. I mean, I already have shown you the exact how the exact bot works. I mean, the first conversation of the bot, if you remember, was the complete bot basically. I will again, before ending the session, I will again try to run that bot. If any issues, guys, just know, guys. Okay.
Cool. So I think I hope everyone is following till now.
Is there any way to create a tabular data file of all the bookings is here? All the bookings is here. Yeah, obviously you can again write a custom action for it. So in that custom action, so uh, as I told you, I think some noise is coming from your end. Yeah. So as I told you guys, so since we are saving guys all the data in the slots, that's why we are storing the data in the slots so that we can use all those slot values. And now it's up to you how you use those slot values. You can again trigger one more custom action. You write your own code there. You put all those slot values in a database or Excel file or wherever you want to. Yes, it is achievable task. Can we record all the inputs into a file? Inputs in the sense, Shubham, can you clarify? Like what kind of input? Uh, I mean, user input. Are you asking about? Are you asking about the? Uh, yeah, as I said, you are saving the slot values. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, since you are saving the slot values, you can use it any way you want. Okay. Ideally, I don't think slot values will be useful to you. I think if you can save the entire conversation, this entire conversation that we are doing here, so all these conversation, guys, will be saved in the databases, not a problem. So for testing purposes, guys, I will just give you a brief overview. There is a story and there is an end-to-end story, guys. If you see in the stories, it's all about the intents and actions. Okay. In the end-to-end story, for every intent, there is a text message also, hi, that the user has given. I'm in Mumbai. So if you can save all these end-to-end stories, you can just run a Rasa test script and you can evaluate your chatbot basically. Is it possible to wrap this chatbot as a REST web service? Yeah, obviously. Suppose if you want to integrate chatbot to a website or any other product, you can just deploy on some server as well as APIs. Not a problem. Okay. Some other questions, guys. So on the Rasa docs, how do we do it? Are you talking about Charup this? I mean, the previous question, like integrating chatbot to website. Yes. Okay. So it's not in the scope of our this webinar, but yes, we can integrate it. We already have integrated our bot with some platforms like Facebook, Slack also, and Microsoft Teams also recently we did. So similarly on the website, I think Yogesh has done it for our community website, colearninglaunch.com. There is a bot there. I think Yogesh can explain it. Yogesh, can you come in and explain?
Yeah, so basically, happens through a webhook. You have to launch a service for the bot, and similarly, you have to have a front end for the bot, and both talks to each other through something called webhook. Similarly, like platform like Facebook and Slack and all. So deployment or integration is different scope altogether, but I'll share some resources which I can find for all the integration and deployment. Michelle, please go ahead. Can you hear me, guys?
Okay, I was on mute mode, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, the question was, once the form is complete, how does the bot communicate the info to the restaurant? Okay. So what I was saying is, guys, since we are not building a production ready bot, so the APIs that we are using from Zomato, it doesn't authorize us to, talk to the restaurant services also, where we can communicate or place the table booking order further. So if we have the access to other APIs, like there must be some API to book a table in some other restaurant, we can call that API and pass these informations from the slots basically. That's why we are saving everything in the slot so that we can pass it to the other services. I hope I have given a high level overview. Uh, okay. Last with Google Home or Alexa. Okay, for that, okay, everybody is very much interested in integrating. So I will just show you how, so we can integrate your bot with your Rasa bot with your own website, Facebook Messenger, Slack, Telegram, bot framework, Cisco Teams, Rocket Chat, Mattermost, Hangout, and there are some custom connectors also. So I don't think as of now they have given some service to integrate with Alexa, but yeah, I will look into it for sure. Will let you know. There must be some way. I think this custom connectors should be the solution. Just give me, Okay, so Yogesh has written with Alexa, is it possible? It is possible. Okay, just a minute. Guys, am I audible? I think I lost some connection. Oh, I'm audible. Okay. Yeah, so we are waiting for further connection. Sorry, for further questions. If you have some other questions, and if you have very specific questions, you can ask those in WhatsApp group, or you can contact us by some other means. We will try to share as much resources as possible. Shared answer plus accelerated video. Okay, okay, guys. So, guys, just wanted to know if you want me to run the entire bot again that I just did when I started the session, like the entire bot. Okay, so there is a YouTube video available with us, which tells us about how to integrate Rasa and Alexa. Okay. So I will stop sharing the screen as of now, guys. Okay. So is it possible for you to input voice command to chat? So as of now, there is no direct services for providing voice to the Rasa, but I have seen one blog where uh, you know there was some Mozilla plugins or something which was in being open source. Obviously, you can use your own uh, models also. So if you have a voice to speech conversion system, you can integrate it. Shubham has written yes through deep search. Okay. Yeah, I think Yogesh also has given the same Mozilla tools link. Okay. So I've stopped sharing the screen, guys. Okay. So yeah, you can refer this link, and you can see how you can convert your voice. Okay, so even if you're talking to the bot in terms of voice, guys, the system will not understand the voice as long as your speech needs to be converted into the text also. Internally, there must be some tool for sure, which must be converting your voice to audio, or voice to text basically. Can we use user-defined models? Yes, you can define user-defined models. I mean, yeah, in the pipeline, if you want to use your own custom component or some model to, uh, yeah, NER models. Yes, you can use Spacey, or like you can put it that in pipeline, or you can train your own models. And again, so everything you need to, you have seen that config.yml file, and uh, there we have seen the entire NLU pipeline. So those pipelines are that pipeline will have all your components. Okay, so there I have, as of now we are using Duckling, let's say. So Duckling is also a pre-trained model. Similarly, you can use a Spacey NER model, which will which can so like Duckling is good with numbers. It can extract date, time, any kind of number, guys, any type of money, US dollars or European money or any currency, email IDs it can extract. Similarly, you can use Spacey NER model for extracting locations, organizations. Yes, you can use it. You will find some more resources for it on Rasa Docs. You can just I will just share the link for the NLU pipeline where you can choose your own pipeline, or you can configure your pipelines basically. I'll just share a link. This link should help you where you can configure your own pipelines.
Cool. So, guys, one small request for all of you. If you guys can, give us a star to this GitHub repo, it will help us to, help everyone to find out this repo, and definitely it will motivate everyone to join and support us in terms of open sourcing all sorts of content that we are creating, and definitely it will help us to add more contributors and where we work together to create some good projects and good content. Right? So feel free to please log in and give a star to the repo and share it with others, those who need it. Thank you.